finally, the value growth idea really is that the business is in perpetuity, right? You're saying, hey, I'm building this business in perpetuity. I don't have a plan to exit from it necessarily, and I want to build it. But I'm not going to be around in perpetuity. I may be for my kids, it may be for my grandkids, it may be for my wife, it may be for family wealth, whatever the reason may be. But along the way, then it's saying, hey, one of the vulnerabilities may be me, right? I may be part of the vulnerability because I don't want to be here, for 5 years. I may only want to be here for 2 years or 3 years. So if we're saying to value to growing the business, that brings up the question is how do you create the management team, right? Or the replacements along the way. That's one of the key vulnerabilities that you're really trying to trigger down on here is where is your exit? What may not be selling the business, but when are you bailing, right? When are you leaving this place, or when do you no longer have interest in being here? And so that's one of the vulnerabilities that we try to surface. And this part of this process is to looking at that. Let's plan on keeping the business forever, and along the way, which may mean that we may need to do some sorts of investment. May mean that we may invest in certain kinds of relationships, and separating investment type spending from operating type spending, and recognizing that that there's an investment expectation, whereas I may make $500,000 next year, but I may want to take $100,000 of that or $200,000 of that, and I may want to invest it. So I'm going to take that and put it into and my expectation of that $200,000 is for me to make $650,000, $700,000 the following year and consistently at a higher level. So CapEx spending comes into play there. We're going to have to invest in the business periodically. When and where does that take place? If we don't do the CapEx spending, what happens to the people that go away? I've got key people who may be leaving, or I got key people who need to leave, right? And am I protected against them going out and opening a competitor along the way? Do I have the kinds of things in place to guard against those kinds of vulnerabilities? So it's a what if exercise as well, but it's something that forces the idea of what are some of these vulnerabilities that are more longer term in terms of rather than what's our vulnerabilities immediately.
That's awesome. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell for notifications about new videos and interviews. And introduce yourself in the comments. Are you a buyer or a seller?